Hey there, bibliophiles and those raising bibliophiles. Are you looking to find books worthy of your children to read and which ones you may want to avoid? Well, join me for this week's book review to see if it should be added to your to-read list or your banned book list. Today's book review is Otter by Katherine Applegate. I have had some requests for some younger fiction, and so I have been doing that. So you'll see the next couple reviews are kind of reflective of that. So Otter by Katherine Applegate is actually an adorable novel. It's actually told in verse. So as you can imagine from the title and the cover, as you can see, it is about actual otters from the Monterey Bay Aquarium in California. I wasn't quite aware until reading this book that otters were an endangered species due to the California fur trade prior to 1938. The story is recommended for ages 8 to 11, but given that it's written in verse, you may find it a bit challenging for younger readers. It definitely could be an adorable read aloud with your children or co-reading, just to keep that in mind, as it could take some adjustment to reading a novel in verse, but it is definitely a unique narrative structure that you're going to come across more and more. So it's definitely worth taking time to kind of become acquainted with it. And it's a unique way to tell a story. So in this adorable tale, Otter is the main character who receives her name from her mother because she has peculiar behavior. The story is told in 4 parts. And the part 1 is titled The Queen of the Play and introduces the readers to Otter in her present, fun, and playful way. However, it isn't long until Otter is actually bitten by a shark. So spoiler, she does survive. But in case you have a super sensitive animal lover, this may not be a story that you want to consider. Fortunately, Otter does end up close to shore, and so she is rescued by the local aquarium and taken swiftly into surgery to try and help her recover. Part 2 is titled How to Be an Otter Pup, and this is an otter's first time in the aquarium setting or experiencing rehabilitation. So readers learn that she was also rescued when she was just a pup. The story gives a cute account of her mom's care for her up until her mom actually disappears during stormy weather, and that is quite sad. Like I said, if you have super sensitive animal lovers in your house, you may want to skip this book. However, Otter is taken care of, and the story just kind of goes through the rehabilitation process and teaching her how to be an otter. And then she is reintroduced into the wild, which is where she ends up getting bitten by a shark. Then part 3 is titled Otter number 209. And in this section, Otter is struggling because she is missing her best otter friend that she thought she had left and lost during the shark attack. And this other otter was also bitten, but just slightly, not quite to the extent that Otter was. And so she's super excited when she finds out that her friend actually is also in the aquarium and that she has become a permanent resident. When they are given a name by the humans, that lets them know that they're going to be permanent residents. The number kind of tells them that they're hoping to send them back out into the wild. So fortunately, she is reintroduced to her missing friend who has also been picked up and saved. The two are now becoming foster mothers to other little otter pups that have been rescued. And so this was all based on a real initiative and a real goal from this particular aquarium. So it is based on some historical basis, but definitely is, a fiction tale because we're following Otter and all her thoughts and worries. And so it is an adorable story about, the efforts and trying to protect the otter population. The author's note does give more detail about the actual events, and there's also given some resources. So if your reader is interested in learning more about endangered species and conservation efforts, information is there. And it would definitely be a great companion piece if you are a homeschool family or you just have some just extracurricular things that you guys study, that if you're looking at endangered species or conservation efforts or something of that nature, this would be an adorable book to sort of add to that collection. So Otter by Katherine Applegate is definitely a one that I would put on your bookshelf and have that available for your readers.